welcome to our new season of Ignite News. I'm Tori Blissimo.
And I'm Christina Costwell. After a long summer, the journalism students are back here at Mohawk College covering events in and around the Hamilton area.
Let's take a look at what the journalism students have been up to.
Hamilton and the SACHA hosted their annual Take Back the Night March this Thursday night. Many supporters and marchers came down to join the event, including Erin Cricket, the public education coordinator for SACHA.
Oh, it's so important for Hamilton. This is our 34th year having Take Back the Night in Hamilton. Yeah, it started in '81, and it's important because sexual violence is still an issue. You know, the numbers haven't gone down. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience sexual violence sometime in their lifetime, and most Hamiltonians never even think about that. I want folks to know that a world without violence is possible, because doing this work, working to end sexual violence, can be really soul-destroying and isolating, and I want folks to know that it's possible and that there are amazing peeps in our community who want the same thing as you.
This event is amazing. I think number one, because it's one of the larger Take Back the Nights that kind of happen in the ones in different cities. I think when you see other women with the same kind of goal and that same dream of how our community should be, it is super empowering.
The women's roller derby team also played a big part by skating alongside the women during the march.
The Hammer City Roller Girls takes part in Take Back the Night as parade marshals. So we're here for the safety of the women while they are marching. We've been doing this for 10 years and we continue to come back because our organization and ourselves is a full women's sport run by women for women, and we are just supporters of women.
It's important to make everybody aware of how much violence there is in this world, and we just want to show our support as well.
There's so many people that you don't know, like your next door neighbor could be a victim, and I feel like if we all stand together, maybe one day we won't have to be rallying because it would be over.
Reporting for Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Bailey McLaughlin.
I used to come here as a participant, and the one year we were looking to register our team, and there wasn't an organizer, so they asked me if I would like to organize it. So I said yes. They're pretty hard to say no to, and so I've been doing it ever since. And there are people, they come here and they've been doing it for 30 years, ever since that he passed away. And there's a memorial book. And the first year I didn't even bring it out of the box. I didn't really know about it, and people ask specifically for that. And they come, and some people just walk by, hand you money. But I think really the main draw is Terry Fox, but this venue really helps. There's one gentleman, he's here every year with his grandkids and his daughter, and he's been here every single year. I've had a little girl, she's not here this year, she's come, she holds lemonade stands, and she came one year with a gift bag full of coins. It was about $1,000. And so people are they go out of their way. There's a little boy here today. It's his birthday, and instead of having birthday gifts, he asked people to make donations. So I think he brought $140 from his birthday party. That's for Terry Fox. So it's amazing. The little guys are the ones who seem to really make that extra effort. And I mean, they wouldn't have been around when Terry Fox was around, so they must be learning about him through school or through their parents. A lot of people have somebody in the family who's a cancer survivor. And they'll tell you their stories. So actually organizing the run and listening, people will tell you, why they're here, and it's pretty inspiring.
It's you get a real sense of community in this area, and it brings together people from all walks of life, because cancer affects people from all walks of life. So that's a really nice aspect of having it in this location. Well, I do have a personal connection in that I'm a 3-time cancer survivor, and this year was particularly challenging in terms I had a second bout of breast cancer, and so it was important for me, depending on how I felt, and I'm just getting over my chemotherapy, so it was important for me to come out here and maybe show kids, adults, what a survivor looks like.
Well, unfortunately, cancer research takes money, and as long as people see that kind of thing happening with people suffering from the disease. I'm a cancer survivor myself. And plus, I think people realize by seeing people like Michelle here, myself, and other cancer survivors that, it's definitely possible, and it's working, and you know, it just makes a big difference for people to have that as a visual. You know, I think, you know, you can do a lot of things reading and so on, but actually actively seeing people makes a difference.
Hamilton General Hospital hosts its 5th annual Stride for the General to raise money for patient care, equipment, and educational initiatives. Chris Monster is part of the Heart Investigation Unit at the hospital.
The staff is supportive of their work environment, their workplace, and we're hoping to be team number 1 so that we get a prize to get medical equipment specific for the heart unit.
Chris Gracie is one of the participants.
My husband was a congestive heart failure patient at the Hamilton General for 5 years, and he was with the Heart Function Clinic. And without them, his life would have been shorter than the 5 years that he had. But they provided him an excellent quality of life. They looked after everything for him on a daily basis. The nurses, the doctors, it was just such a supportive group.
For more information, visit hamiltonhealthsciences.ca. Reporting for Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Han Vo.
I am the collections assistant here at the Dundas Museum and Archives, and I was asked to help put together this exhibit for Queen Elizabeth II for her longest reign in the UK's history. I think with us being so far away from the UK, we're not really celebrating there with them, especially on September the 9th. So bringing some of the royal stuff that they have from that you can see in the royal collection here to Dundas, I think gives people the opportunity to feel like they're celebrating with everyone else across the pond.
David Weering is a history professor for general arts and science at Mohawk College.
She draws a crowd. Wherever she goes, she draws a crowd. And that says something, too, doesn't it, about the durability of the idea of monarchy. We like to pretend that we are dyed-in-the-wool Republicans. Australians even tried once and failed to get rid of the royal family. But there's something enduring about it, an ancient attraction to inherited authority.
In 1953, the mayor of Dundas, John Donne, went to the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, where he sat for hours waiting to see the queen get coronated. And he was able to purchase this coronation stool that day. The people who donated this are royal collectors. They collect everything from the French monarchs straight through to Queen Elizabeth II, as you can see. And her being the longest reigning monarch, she surpassed Queen Victoria. So, I mean, that in itself is incredibly significant. No one else has done that in British history. So, the personal service here of Queen Victoria actually has quite a unique history. It originated out of the Great Exhibition that happened in the 1850s. And there was an elaborate service done with for crudités and custard bowls that were phenomenal. And she loved them so much that she actually had a personal service made mimicking those colors. So as you can see, it has the wide turquoise band, and you can see that in the center of it, you can see her monogram, the V, which is within the Knight of the Garter, and with her coronet or her crown.
Long may she reign, send her victorious, happy and glorious. Long to reign over us, God save the Queen.
To check out more exhibits, visit the Dundas Museum and Archives. Reporting for Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Han Vo.
It's a big week for some startup companies here in Hamilton. They will be participating in Lion Slayer and have chances of winning big cash prizes.
A few of our colleagues profiled some of the competitors. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Michael Pazaratz.
And my name is Saeed Darvish Kazim, and we are the co-founders of WeMesh.
WeMesh is a synchronous multimedia video messenger app for the iPhone, so it's something new. It's as if you took the best elements of a video player and a messenger and combined them, and it's an app that lets people watch videos together in perfect sync, whether they're in the same room or on other sides of the planet.
We actually wanted an app that would allow you to share videos, in sync, real time, and allow you to chat and talk with one another. And we went and looked for it on the App Store. We were surprised to find that no one had done this. And so, stemming from that, we, instead of sitting there and hoping that someone would be able to come up and make one, we decided, why don't we make it?
With WeMesh, you would come into the application, and as soon as you load it, you're going to see all the meshes that are available to you. These are open meshes from around the world with people all over the place. These are local meshes of people within 10 kilometers from you. These are meshes that you've been invited to. And you're going to see what video they're watching and who's in the mesh. You can join a mesh and join right in. It'll sync you up perfectly, and you can start talking and texting with them. Or, alternatively, you can create a mesh of your own by searching any video on YouTube and selecting what kind of mesh you want it to be, and then inviting who you want to your mesh and beginning. And once you get to the end of a video, you will be given options that you can vote for what you want to watch next. So the idea is not to come together and watch one video, but rather have a viewing party that goes video to video to video. We've had meshes that have lasted longer than 24 hours of people just coming and going, but someone's always keeping it going from around the world.
The Lions Lair is the perfect platform for us as a company and perfect competition. We entered this competition because it'll help us go that next step. It'll bring us resources, it'll bring us media attention, publicity, and also it's just a great way to showcase what is capable for entrepreneurs in Hamilton. We want to go from startup to the way people share and experience content together. We want to be the next big Canadian homegrown company.
We want to become the dominant app that people would come together to share all kinds of different media on.
Be it content with your friends, be it things that you upload, be it live streams. WeMesh wants to be the name in social viewing. So you can come together, if you're a parent, you have a video of your kid, you can take that video, you upload it, and share it with all of your friends in real time on WeMesh.
And we want to do it all right here in Canada because we think that Canada needs another successful startup. We think that Canada is the best place in the world. There's a reason people make movies here, and I think it's the same reason why we're going to make successful tech companies here.
My name is Alan Sawula, and I'm the founder of Chipsetter. I have a master's in engineering, and I've always loved to invent and build new things, especially circuit boards. And when I was building my circuit boards with a pair of tweezers, I grew frustrated and really wished I could afford my own pick-and-place machine. And I thought of all the developers that would be freed from the tedious and time-consuming task of placing components by hand. And so I realized that this was something I had to do, and then and there, the idea for Chipsetter was born. We developed a pick-and-place machine that uses a little suction tip to pick up the components and place them where they belong on the circuit board. And this replaces the task of doing that by hand with a pair of tweezers. So before you have a pick-and-place machine, you have to put these components on the circuit board one at a time. That means peeling off the cover tape, putting a few components on your desk, and hopefully not losing them. And then you pick up the components one at a time and carefully put them on the circuit board where they need to go. And these ones here that I'm doing aren't even the smallest ones. The components come in two sizes smaller, so you can imagine what a tedious, time-consuming task it is to do this all day. So the first thing to do is to move over to the feeder where the components are dispensed from. Then the machine will pick one up. It'll turn on a suction pump and lift up a component. Then the machine has to take that component over top of a camera, and that camera is going to make sure that the component is aligned properly. So it's going to fix any misalignment, and once it's fixed it, it's going to take it over to where it needs to be deposited, and it's going to put it down on the circuit board. And then this process repeats. And we're shooting for a rate of about 1,800 components per hour, so that would be one component placed every 2 seconds. And that's probably 5 to 10 times faster than you can do by hand, and it's completely automated. It's done by a robot, so you don't have to get tired and make a mistake, which is easy to do with components that are half the size of a grain of rice.
The pitch that we're going to be watching in this episode is by a company called Chip Setters.
So I learned about the Lions Lair through working as a client with Innovation Factory. I also am working daily out of the Forge Incubator, which is a campus-linked accelerator funded by the university and with resources from Innovation Factory, where I have access to a free desk and a hardware shop to work and build things out of. So all these resources that are available are really what's enabling ChipSetter to become a company.
What does success look like for ChipSetter in your mind's eye?
Success is that ChipSetter is the name in low-cost pick-and-place technology, and we have one in every communal workshop, in every student branch, and everyone that wants one can have one in their home. The biggest help that Lions Lair would provide would be the cash that allows us to grow our team. But it's also going to provide incredible exposure and to be known within the Hamilton ecosystem of the business ecosystem is very powerful. There are a lot of really fantastic resources, people that we can meet, and even if we don't walk away with a prize, we know that it's definitely going to be great exposure, and especially the practice that comes through participation and the chance to pitch. That's great experience that's going to help us in the future too.
So we're developing a non-invasive skin patch to test for allergies and will be sold over the counter at your local pharmacy. Now the really cool part about our patch technology is that it doesn't require an allergic reaction. So it's completely safe to use at home, there's no harmful chemicals that are going to damage your skin, and you can find out the results right away.
My name is Mufid. I'm the co-founder and CEO of XVivo Labs. One day I was chatting with a couple of people. One of them is Eric Blondil, who's now my co-founder. But before then we were just chatting and we started talking about allergies. So one conversation led to another and we ended up Googling allergy testing. So what we found were pictures of little kids going through the allergy test, and it looked like a really, really unpleasant test. And at that point we said, okay, we could do a lot better, and that's how the project started.
Right now I'm doing an online survey, doing grant applications, and reaching out to pharmacists to start to get more information about our product and how they receive it.
Our goal is to bridge the gap between the healthcare system and people suffering from allergies. Currently we've talked to a lot of allergy sufferers, and you'll be shocked how many of them are self-diagnosed. They think they have an allergy, and that's how they live their life. And we think there's something fundamentally wrong with this. So we want to provide them with a product that they can use to test themselves and then take this information to doctors to seek the medical attention that they need. So this is called the Velocity Foundry. It's an incubator and it's funded by the University of Waterloo. So what it does is it gives us co-working space so we can work on our companies and build them. And the nice thing is that just across from us, we have other teams who are working on different ideas, and there's a lot of idea exchange that takes place.
I just graduated from the business program at the University of Waterloo, and it so happened that my roommate was actually working at this incubator at the time when Mufid was just right adjacent to him. And he said, we need someone to help out with business development. My roommate says, I've got just the perfect candidate, just graduated business, and he's really good at sales and marketing. So Mufid and I met a short while later, and we just hit it off. I mean, he's such a passionate, driven individual with a lot of good expertise. I think we get along really well. And when you see us together, you see that magic and you see the team dynamics. And I mean, Eric has got such a great mind for pop culture and trivia. Mufid's, rides his motorcycle to work every day. I've got a lot of travel experience. And so we all bring our individual perspectives to the table. And when we are combined together, we're a really strong force.
This is my more than full-time job. So a typical day is anywhere from, it depends on the day, but 8 to 14, 15 hours. And it fluctuates, of course. There's busy times and there's less busy times. But overall, it's a lot of work, and mostly 6 days a week.
I work about 10 to 12-hour days, 6 days a week.
Right now we're 6 people, and we have plans to add more people as the months go by, because as you can imagine, it's a big project, and we do need a lot of hands working on it.
So we've got scientists, we've got business students, and we've got engineers, all from the undergraduate to the PhD level. So once a month we try and get together for a dinner just to get outside of work, gel as a team and get to know each other on a deeper level. There's a rock climbing gym just about 10 minutes away from here, so if we need a break, we'll go for a rock climb.
Hamilton is actually an amazing place because they have really good hospitals, they have really good networks, and they also have entrepreneurs who have taken medical devices to the market before. So when we looked at Hamilton, it was not by accident. It was because we saw the value in the area, and we wanted to expand our connections and make the best out of what the region has to offer.
Sniper Skin is a new product that wants you to say goodbye to hockey tape and hello to a product that is 10 times stronger.
I was tired of hockey tape letting me down, and I've tried all the alternatives on the market for tape replacements, and I couldn't find one, so I invented one. It's called Sniper Skin. Sniper Skin is a sleeve that you slide onto your stick, either the blade or the grip, and you pour boiling hot water over top of it, and it custom forms and shrinks to your stick in seconds.
The company is committed to providing products that solve problems we see in many different sports, such as hockey, baseball, and lacrosse.
My son had spent a lot of money on a stick and destroyed it within 2 games, so I was looking for something that would last a little bit longer.
Because putting hockey tape on is a pain, and most times it lets you down in a game, where Sniper Skin will stay on and protect that blade through the game, and you won't have to worry about your tape. And snow and ice doesn't build up on it either as well, which is a huge benefit during a game.
Sniper Skin began selling their products in April and have had great success ever since. They have also appeared on shows such as Lion's Lair.
Sniper Skin is 10 times stronger than tape. And now my son uses it on his replacement stick, and 6 months later that stick looks as good as the day he bought it. The downsides to hockey tape is that it's difficult to install. For most parents and players, it takes skill and a lot of practice before they get good at it, and some never do.
Lion's Lair has been phenomenal. The experience of both the media training and the consultants that we've been in conjunction with to help us get this going has been phenomenal.
My dad first showed me this product and said it went on with hot water. I was a little bit confused at first, and then he showed me and I'm like, this is magical. And I've seen a lot of kids see it as well, and they have the same reaction as me. I think it's really cool.
With the product just taking off, the Wright family continues to work on expanding and creating more beneficial products for the consumer.
Both Lee and I have a lot of corporate background, and so we do want to run it like a corporation, but at this point we're hoping to keep it, in the family and build a legacy.
For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Tori Bellissimo.
Sustainability is a huge issue here at Mohawk College, and the school has been doing its best to be as green as possible.
This past week was Smart Commute Week at Mohawk College, and students were encouraged to leave their cars at home. Joshua Stewart has more.
The Mohawk College Sustainability Office, in partnership with Smart Commute, recently held Smart Commute Week here at the college. Emily Baines, the Sustainability Outreach Coordinator, was on hand to help teach students the importance of alternate transportation.
So Smart Commute Week is an annual event where we encourage all staff and students to use an active or alternative form of transportation to get to Mohawk. So that could be anything like walking, riding a bike, carpooling, taking public transit, basically anything that is an alternative to driving here in your car by yourself. Well, it's important for a few reasons. I mean, for students, it's a great way to save money. It's a great way to reduce your carbon footprint. And for the college, it's really the same thing on a bigger scale.
Some students also see the importance in seeking more sustainable forms of transportation.
An alternative transportation, bus, bike, commuting with a friend or something, a heck of a lot easier, a heck of a lot more efficient, faster too sometimes.
Pretty much be aware of all the alternate transportations and carpooling and whatnot, just because emissions are getting quite high, and even the air around us is becoming all more or less gassy and whatnot, and even the rain now is just more acid rain as opposed to before when it used to be actual rainwater that you can actually open your mouth and drink.
For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Josh Stewart.
I'm joined by Josh Stewart. Now, Josh, what other initiatives are there at Mohawk that students can get involved in?
Well, there's lots of things actually. There's the community garden where community members can grow vegetables for use here on the campus and for nonprofit organizations. There's the electronic recycling program where you can get rid of your old electronics. And there's a new electronic charging station for electronic cars.
And if a student would want to get involved in that, how would they go about doing it?
Well, you can find all of the information on the Sustainability Office's website.
Now I understand you have a personal connection to the Sustainability Office. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I actually worked with them over the summer, interning for them. And I was just helping to get the message out there. And, I helped in the garden too.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. And now we'll send things over to Sports with Tori at the Recreational Center.
The men's volleyball team is gearing up to start their season. Having lost key contributors from last year's squad, the team looks to rely on 2 new transfer players, Eric Gerard and Chris Spack, to continue the on-court success.
We do have big shoes to fill. We've got a lot of returning players, and we've got some guys coming in, like Chris Spack coming into Sept and lead the offense, and I think we'll be able to fill the shoes and compete with other teams just like we have in the past.
Gerard, previously from Mohawk College, the best team in the OCAA Eastern Conference, wants to do anything to help the team win.
Mohawk is, I think at some point we all just buy into the system and become a brotherhood, and it's really just one big family playing volleyball and loving what we do.
Spack feels his time spent in McMaster, one of the premier volleyball programs in the country, will make him a leader on the court.
I try to bring what I learned from university ball to the younger guys coming into the program and stuff, and just try and, be there to support them all the time. That's what all the guys do.
Reporting for Mohawk College Journalism, I'm John Teller.
It's been a great summer for Hamilton football, but not only for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Christina Costable has more on the great opportunity that was given to the Hamilton Hurricanes.
The Hamilton Hurricanes participated in the first ever CFL-CJFL doubleheader at Tim Hortons Field on Saturday. And not only did the Hurricanes get to play in front of a few extra fans who stuck around after the Tiger Cat game, they also stood on the sidelines to take in the final quarter of the CFL game.
It was awesome just to come out and be able to stand on the sidelines and watch the game. And when everyone was leaving, they said a few things to us. So it was once in a lifetime thing, one of the coolest football things I've done so far in my career.
It's great to see the support from our home city like that. Crowds here, not as big, but hey, it was great that we had a few extra fans today, and the players as well. It's good to see support from some professional athletes who we look up to, and it was good. It was cool to be a part of it for sure.
Andrew Mazzotti, who had 4 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown, says the team's offensive success is in large part to Jarrell Gaddishaw, who had 16 carries for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I personally think it was our running game, our O-line too. We moved the ball their defense wasn't even there, and Jarrell, he had a great game, and he's been running strong for the last few games. He's a big part of our offense and a reason as to why, I think that we're moving the ball the way we are.
The win was the Hurricanes' 4th in a row, improving their record to 4-1.
Well, you know what? We got to give it to our defense too. Our defense helps out stopping their offense, and we can just pick up from our defense. And I feel like our offense is clicking, and our quarterback, he's making great reads, throwing good balls,
and I think we're like a family. So when you go out there and play like a family, good things happen, and we see that every time we come out here.
For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Christina Costable.
Great story, Christina. So what's it like being at Hamilton Hurricanes game?
Well, it's not the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They're not the big professional football players, but they're in juniors, so they're excited to play. They want to play, and they're trying their best to try to make the big roster. So it's very exciting to go and watch, and I enjoy going to them.
So I hear it's a big week in Hamilton for sports and for yourself. Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, actually Saturday is the home opener for the new OHL Hamilton Bulldogs. They're actually playing against the reigning Memorial Cup champion Oshawa Generals, so it's going to be a great game. I'm excited to be there, and I'll actually be the Bulldogs reporter for Ignite News, so stay tuned for all that coverage all season long.
Well, that's great, and that's all the time we have for Ignite News today. I'm Tori Blessimo.
And I'm Christina Costable. We'll see you next week.